home, I was offered an exit on sanjeevkapoor.com, and I was offered at that time 60 crores for sanjeevkapoor.com, and I didn't sell it. I said, nahi, pata nahi hai, apna haath bech raha hoon, pura apne aap ko bech raha hoon, what am I doing? So I will not exit. And then I started thinking that this Sanjeev Kapoor I'm being possessive about, I know who Sanjeev Kapoor is, who's this .com? I didn't know at that time what this .com is. Then I started studying, and as I said that I do that, then I said, oh, this is top-level domain, so these TLDs, how do they work? I started work on that. I said, oh my God, if I have to do this, and if I have to control this, I have to go forward in this, then there should be something called .food. $10 ago, I left that work. I said, nah, it does not make economic sense. It's not something which is that smart. Effort to return ratio is too poor. It has still not been taken. It still does not exist. So anybody who has the guts, go ahead and do it. Acquire own.com. It is available, can be done. Can you make a lot of money with that? I don't know. But that, so there are 100 such things which I would say people would not know about me. They would know that he does a TV show, but so currently I'm working on a face wash. I'm creating a face wash. Or for pharma companies, I would have done a solution for end-stage cancer patient or something for total renal failure. We are talking medicine, we're not talking. So the point is that what I enjoy is knowing more. So I have only focused on one thing, knowing more, and that has resulted in many things. People call it brand, people call it monetization, money. To me, it stopped meaning much many years ago when I realized that I have much more than I need, I have much more than I deserve. So it does not mean much to me.
So thanks for sharing that with us. So one of the essential qualities that I hear you say, which is intrinsic in you, is the exploration part, right? Which is going and discovering and saying that, you know, where's the next big idea? Let me learn more, let me learn more. If I were to go back to the panel, what would you say is within you that's allowed you to reach where you have? Let me hear some other thoughts. And they say entrepreneurship, at the core of it, there is innovation and there's risk and there's creativity. So the process of creative disruption actually makes economic growth happen. So let me hear some thoughts here.
Hard work.
A right time, right place.
I think surrounding yourself with a good team which believes in your vision, your success cannot come alone. And it has to be with the people who are around you, and you have to set them up for success as well by giving them the tools to succeed. If they succeed, then you are going to be successful. So I think the most important thing is teamwork and setting them up.
I think entrepreneurship is very, very individualistic. I doubt anybody can generalize why does one become an entrepreneur. For me, failure was never an option, for example. I don't believe a true entrepreneur can fail. You've just got to be so committed to what you want to do that you're willing to give it all to succeed. And failure does not come in that dictionary. So I would take it from there. There is no such thing as failure.
I firmly believe that it's the value system which is important. All the values that parents teach us, all what we studied in school, and everything that is good stays good forever. Blindly follow it, believe in it. There is no reason why success or perceived success, because success is something, what is success to me is not my ability to get. My ability to give is success to me. So perceived success is what people think success is. I think I strongly believe it's the value system, and rest everything fall. Core expertise, all the qualities that are there, that we'll find in all management books, but I think value system is something which I believe strongly in.
So there's a lot of work that I've done in the space of leadership, and I worked with a lot of promoter-led companies, big, small, medium size. And there are a couple of issues that always keep springing up there. Number one, I take all the decisions. More often than not, all of them try and hold the cards very close to their chest. They take the decisions. And the rest of them are only ambassadors to make that execution happen. And trust me, I've worked with some of them very closely. And I've also worked in their environments and culture to know this to be a truth, right? Number two, I have an idea, I want to monetize it, here's an opportunity, I'm an opportunity taker, and this is the way I'm going to do it. So the whole piece on creating an institution, institutionalizing a few things, creating an industry, are left maybe to the professionals or is never done at all, right? The third thing that comes up is, and you talk about it beautifully, is about the team. Very often, I am not concerned which is the team that's making it happen. And if you see all the entrepreneurs who are right now, under the spotlight and they're doing well, all the founders are moving out. One can argue and say that they're not capable of scaling up. One can argue and say they're not capable of creating institutions. And on the flip side, you can say that they have the idea, let them be the mentors, and let someone else take the ideas and move ahead. I want to hear the panelists talk a little bit more about this. You have an idea, you've created something. Are you looking for scale up? Are you looking for succession? Are you looking for a team that handles it? What is it that you're going to do? Because entrepreneurs globally, and I'm not just talking about India, do have these characteristics, some very good, but on the other side, on the flip side, there are some of the, I won't call them myths, they're realities.
For me, I don't want to stop. I don't want to ever retire. I just want to keep going at it and keep just doing it. The institution of Flanders, yes. I think Flanders is in a way synonymous with me now, and I can't think of a life without doing what I'm doing today. So I can't think of a life without Flanders.
My tough question is going to be, so Sunil and Flanders are synonymous. What about Flanders by itself? What happens to Flanders when Sunil decides to hang his boots?
First of all, I don't want to hang my boots. That's very important. My nephew, I have a nephew, and he's trained with me. So he's looking after the whole thing of Flanders, and it's happening. And I'm quite happy the way it's going. And really, I have people working for me who are, the education level is very, very low, but the output I get from my people is more than perhaps I would be paying, well-qualified people. And these people, I care for them as a family, and they're a part of the whole thing, and I can never let them down. So they're with me, and I'm with them for good.
So, we have 1,000 people, and I've been, as I think most entrepreneurs do, utilize the company. family of TLC. So I think everybody has to sort of figure that out at some stage.
Too complex. No, see, for me, naturally, all the businesses that we do, we have set up in a way that actually all of them are, except our holding company, everything is a joint venture that I have, and it's the shareholders and the management is a separate thing, so we don't confuse with that. So wherever we want to use the name, we use it. So, but at structural level, we definitely take care of all of that. And I think the without team, you are nobody. That's a given. You can't, no matter whether you have 2 people or 20,000 people. It's you have to learn to depend on them. In terms of moving forward, since I genuinely believe that I don't have to worry about the future monetarily, so I've never really thought about it. And I have 2 daughters. One is studying to be a lawyer. The other one leaves tomorrow to study maths and statistics. So we have, since my parents let me do what I wanted to do, or believe that I didn't know what to do and so I could do anything, that's what I did. So that's what I'm doing with them, and I'm happy they're happy. I think businesses, we manage in a way that we give chance for people to create enough room for themselves in terms of money, happiness, whatever they want to do. And it has worked well for us.
I think all entrepreneurs start individually, and that's their dream and the vision when they start. That's how the startups start. But at some point, they must give up micromanaging, and if they really want to scale up things and diversify. Is concerned, I really haven't given any thought to it myself. I don't even know. I think I still want to work a little more. It's work in progress. At some point, sit down and think about it.
Well, I think I've had my share of pressures and crap of scaling up when I was in the corporate world. For 25 years, you continue to scale up, and I've done my bit there. So the tree of life will not scale up. That is mandated by me. We will continue to remain small. Our target is by 2018-19, we want to have 8 properties under the brand. We are 4 just now, and we will get to 8 by 2018-19. And I guess by 2020, I want to sort of fulfill probably my one unfinished dream, which is to relocate to the mountains, because I just love living there, and I will do that. So the tree of life, I would at that stage then give up. There is the second generation, which is already being trained to come in. My son's been with me for 5 years, and I guess in the next 4 years, he'd be trained to sort of take up. I don't need a very large structure because, like I said, I believe small is beautiful. I believe small is profitable. And like I said in the beginning, we will stay in the small space with no aspirations of really becoming very, very big. It's not that one is afraid. Or probably I am actually, maybe I'll admit. Maybe I'm afraid to scale up because scaling up then requires a totally different structure. And I don't want to get through it again after having done it for 25, 30 years. So that's where we stand.
So there's nothing like stories, right? So let's hear from the panel, and you can decide what you want to share. Either your most highest achievement, success, as it may have been in your entrepreneurial journey, or your worst nightmare that happened with you. Put on your thinking caps and let's hear some stories.
Right, I'm just going to share a couple of things. When I was growing up in school in Sherwood College in Nainital in the 70s, 60s, 70s, they used to give me papaya every day for breakfast. And for the last 40 years, I've never eaten papaya after that. Honestly, I've never eaten papaya. When I came into the corporate world, for 25 years, I was made to wear a tie and a coat, a jacket every day for 25 years. Now, for the last 5 years, I haven't worn a tie, I haven't worn a jacket, probably 3, 4 times. And today I'm actually formally dressed because when I dress formal, I wear shoes. Otherwise, I'm normally only in sandals. So this is my level of being formal and informal. So I think what entrepreneurship has done to me, it's in a very positive way given me a I don't care a damn attitude. What do I have to lose? Nothing. You can't kick me out anymore. You can't stop my increment. So what more can you do to me? Nothing, right? So I just love this journey. Yeah, and who says men don't cry? Of course, grown-up men cry. Become an entrepreneur, start your business, and that first 1 year when the loan has to be paid back and your business hasn't taken off, I promise you, you'll cry. I mean, I cried, I must admit. I cried a few times in my first year, thinking, what have I got myself into? But then you get up the next morning and say, man, this is what you wanted to do, so let's just carry on doing it. And it just sort of works. So, yeah, there are no disaster stories, I think, except that first 1 year, which is very tough. And just, I guess, like I said, I was very
In New York, it's a totally different, it's a shock. So I remember coming back, and then a year later I went again. He was very persistent that let's do a restaurant. So I don't know what happened. I said, okay, fine, I will do it, but I'm just not going to stay here. You got to, do proper documentation, and then I'm going to come back to the country, and then we can think about it. So fast forward, it took me 2-3 years. So in 1990, when I got my papers, so I land up there, and obviously, now suddenly, he's already made the restaurant. He's done everything himself. And he was a retailer, had no clue of doing a restaurant. So now he hands me the keys, says, okay, you manage the restaurant now. So he owned it at that point in time. So now I suddenly get in the shoes of starting to think of things like, marketing, PR, finance, all that nonsense which comes with, to doing a business. And I had no clue how to do it. So not only that, the biggest challenge was he himself, to make him explain what hospitality is vis-a-vis what business he's doing. He's buying X amount of things for $2 and selling for $5, and he thought restaurants the same business. So actually, 6 months later, I was so fed up, I said, actually, I want to go back. He said, if you're going to go back, then who's going to run the business? I said, I don't know. Find someone and I'm going to go back. So anyway, we made a deal where I bought the restaurant from him. And that was the start of the journey. But I remember the first 1 year was so miserable, so tough, because I did not understand the market. I did not understand what actually having your own business means. You know, every Friday you got to pay people first, then whatever damn is left is yours. And most often there wasn't much left. So, you know, you have to constantly find ways of doing it. But, you know, I took it upon myself to, you know, okay, since I've now jumped into this, I got to learn more, figure out things, and see how I can, you know, make this thing work and hopefully improve on and, you know, take up from there.
Oh, called Wonder Chef. And the way I thought that we will sell that, I said, now we'll not just sell it in a simple way. We'll complicate it a little bit. We will teach people how to cook. And we will embed our products in that teaching. So we actually started to teach women that we will empower them and we'll create small businesses for them so that they can earn. So we only would teach them how to cook some recipes, embed our products. And today we have about close to about 180,000, close to about 2 lakh such women entrepreneurs all across about 600 cities who sell our products. So that's something which gives you that big high that, wow, you've been able to achieve this. And yes, to sign to the first 100 women, it's, and I can tell you, we have started something 2 months ago, and there our dream is 1 million women. It's 1 million women cooking home food and doing that. We've just launched the service under brand Super Meals in Bombay. And our dream is to reach to a million figure in, let's see, when we do it. We've already reached about, I think yesterday was about 900 odd. So we'll get there. It's the beginning. But yeah, fun is there. But I fortunately, in my mind, I have the ability to see it as that, no, it's fun. It's not challenge. It's learning. That's what it is. It's not. I don't want to celebrate failure and create more negativity, because the power comes from the positivity. When you see that, when you celebrate success, you get that power, you get that belief, and that belief gets you going. Because I think motivation learning from failures is something it's used to be. According to me, the new way is that you have to believe that whatever you do would be right, it would be something which would succeed, and there is no way on earth that anybody can stop you. And with that belief, you go on